I really appreciate that. I'm gonna need everyone's help boosting this one, please. I'm gonna tie some strings together here. Please bear with me. It's gonna be a lot to get through. And trigger warning, it is going to have some horrific details involved. This document here, see one of Epstein's victims who was essayed by him. After the assault, she's afraid to leave because he has weapons. Then he blackmails her using the photographs he's taken of her. She says that he claimed to be with the FBI or Secret Service. She was forced to have relations with other men through Epstein, including a man named Walter. Further alleged that an unknown female had OD'd at Epstein's home, and she was told they took the body, quote, to the alligators. Now, here we have a lawsuit from that same victim who is suing Darren Indyke and Richard Kahn, the executors of Epstein's estate. In this lawsuit, this victim alleges multiple SAs, trafficking, abuse, assault, physical mutilation, intentional and negligent infliction of emotional distress, blackmail, intimidation, fraud, deceit, and misrepresentation inflicted upon her. They didn't know the victim's exact age because they weren't sure the year she was born. Around the time of the events, she was approximately 26 years old in 2008. For a period of over 5 months, this plaintiff was repeatedly essayed by Epstein and others whom he trafficked her to. She was forced to pose for photographs, and she was subjected to unwanted and unnecessary surgery of her genitals. At the time, while he and his staff were threatening her, they were claiming that they possessed corrupt influence over the FBI, and not only that, who else? Oh, ICE, and other people of great power. She was told if she spoke up, she would be charged as a prostitute, she would have her child taken away, she would have her marriage destroyed, she would be exposed to the federal immigration authorities and have her family deported or be imprisoned. Here she mentions how Maxwell takes her passport for safekeeping. Then she says that with Maxwell's assistance, Epstein went on to essay her. Then Epstein and Maxwell take her and her son out and start threatening her. They take her to this large body of water. They tell her in explicit detail what happened to other girls in the past. They say she would end up in this water being devoured by alligators should she ever reveal what Epstein did. After leaving the lake, they take her and her son to a hotel. Then she says that over a series of a few days, Maxwell and Epstein repeatedly essayed her, all in the presence of her son. Epstein continues to threaten her that they will have her deported or unalived. While threatening her, Epstein emphasized his personal connections to many powerful actors within the legal system and elsewhere, who he asserted would not hesitate to act on his behalf. He claimed to have influence over the FBI and U.S. Department of Homeland Security's Department of Immigration and Customs Enforcement and Florida state and local law enforcement. In one instance, Maxwell threatened the plaintiff she would end up in the pond and be consumed by the alligators if she told anyone about the crimes that they had committed against her. Throughout those 5 months of being assaulted, she was admonished by Epstein about her age and told to lie about her age and claim that she was 17 years old. And this is the most horrific part of it all, guys, so if you don't want to hear this part, this is your warning here. In 2008, in a particularly appalling act of savagery, Epstein forced her to submit to unnecessary surgery performed, as best she can recall, in a wealthy person's home by a man with a Russian accent for the ostensible purpose of tightening her blank and creating the false impression that she was a virgin for a, quote, high-profile client. The procedure was botched, leaving her in physical pain, disabled, permanently dysfunctional. And here within this file in the files, we see another FBI document providing a synopsis of this same situation of this victim being threatened and intimidated that she would be fed to alligators. Now, a couple things I want to say. about all of this information. And if you made it this far, thank you so much. That was a lot to get through. I don't think, guys, that this whole thing of feeding people to alligators is some sort of coincidence, okay? The fact that Donald Trump created a place called Alligator Alcatraz, in which over 1,200 people have mysteriously vanished and we don't know where they are, and his good buddy also too was threatening to feed people to alligators and recounting stories to them of other victims who had the same fate happen to them. I don't think that's a coincidence, guys. And you can call me crazy and you can say that's a reach or a stretch. I don't care. I don't believe in these kinds of coincidences at this point. The other thing I want to say is all the parts about his influence over the FBI and over ICE. Isn't that interesting to see that this victim said that he claimed he had that kind of power? And then you think about if that is true and his influence permeating the culture of those two agencies, in which you see one involved in the biggest cover-up of all of these crimes that we've ever seen in US history, and then the other one who is doing the same thing that he wanted to do, going after people based off of their ethnicity. The way he was treating women and children permeated down through that agency that he apparently had influence over as well, right? Isn't that interesting?